bet over.
Are you looking for a night of epic fun without breaking the bank? Look no further than Sun Valley Lanes and Games. Join us for our late night special every Sunday through Thursday night and enjoy nonstop action with our Unlimited Fun promotion. Unlimited Fun includes everything you need for an unforgettable night out. Unlimited bowling, unlimited laser tag, and unlimited lucky putt mini golf. Show a valid college or military ID at check-in and get $2 off your admission. Visit the daily rates page at sunvalleylanes.com for complete details.
Sun Valley.
This is Jay Foreman here. Join me and DP for Old School live from Husker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their customer appreciation tailgate party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 at Husker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, it'll be sunny and warmer with a light breeze. We'll see an afternoon high of around 87. Tonight we'll see clear skies with a light breeze as well with a low of around 68. And tomorrow will be sunny and windy and even hotter. Afternoon high should be around 93. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. Hi, my name is Seth Morris with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we know no two cases are the same. Whether it's a DUI, a criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. Again, that's libertylawnebraska.com.
93.7 The Ticket has moved downtown, and you're invited to join us for new beginnings. Join us for our grand opening on Thursday, October 5th at 6 p.m. to celebrate our new space with ribbon cuttings and more. Raising Cane's will be on site to provide entertainment and prizes as we bring downtown Lincoln the newest hangout spot for its favorite radio station. It's 93.7 The Ticket's grand opening at the new 11th and O location, sponsored by Raising Cane's. Tune in throughout the week for more information on times.
John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
After being Lincoln's #1 trusted plumbing, heating, and cooling company for 27 years, John Henry's is proud to announce we now offer electrical services. Call today to book a full range of electrical services by our licensed, background-checked professional electricians. John Henry's, our family serving yours.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Now offering electrical.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year, the student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design, too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the Campus Cash app for free and get great deals, too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with VenueDelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
We have a doubleheader coming your way this Thursday and Friday right here on 93.7 The Ticket. Hey guys, it's Nick Sainert. Join me and Jay Foreman not once but twice this week for high school football here in the state of Nebraska. On Thursday night, it's number 2 Millard South versus number 10 Lincoln East from Seacrest Field as kickoff is slated for 7 p.m. And then on Friday, join us for one of the best rivalries in all of the city. The Silverhawks of Lincoln Southwest play Lincoln Southeast on Friday night at 8 p.m. Join me and Jay Foreman once again on Thursday at 7 p.m. and on Friday at 8 p.m. for high school football right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh, there it is.
10.
There it is.
Give it a 10.
That's what we're talking about.
Pop, fizz.
Crisp.
Gentlemen.
Ooh, is it a good red?
It is a good red.
Ooh, there's a fizz.
Crisp.
Look at that.
Sometimes my efforts to remain topical are a bit of a stretch. Sometimes they're a little more literal. But in this case, with the beer, it's going to be more literal. So this is a Michigan beer. Boo, that's right. Well, we're gonna drink the beer and take the game. That's what we're here to do.
Well,
Right?
them's the coaching rules. We thank them for inviting us to their house. We eat their food, we drink their drink, and we steal their girls.
That's the drill. That's the drill. You want to kick this down to Austin over there?
Don't know if he wants to, but I'll
take one down, pass it around.
Thank you.
Hey, yo.
So Bell's Oktoberfest out of Comstock, Michigan. It is this is a Marzen style, which basically means that they roast the malts to create more of an amber style lager. Lagers are cool fermented, so they take longer to make. They take usually up to about 8 weeks to make, and so basically when Oktoberfests are released, they got one shot at it and that's it. And when they're gone, they're gone. And what's funny anymore is that they ask us to start buying Oktoberfest in July. And it's like, we're not buying Oktoberfest in July, but anymore, if we don't, by the time Oktoberfest gets here, you're not going to have it.
Yeah, you don't get it.
So it's kind of wild in that regard because, by the time Oktoberfest gets here, then all the Christmas holiday seasonals are in. And by the time Christmas here, all the spring seasonals are in. So, basically we've talked quite a bit about Oktoberfest and the history behind it. But in the early 1900s or 1800s, Prince Ludwig was married and they invited the entire city of Munich to the wedding. And it kind of took off from there. So now to this day, there's an average over 2 million gallons of beer consumed at Oktoberfest every year in the city of Munich. People come from all over the world to partake, and it's just a really, really good time. But this taste, this aroma, the mouthfeel just says fall, and fall says football to me. So they're very synonymous in terms of how they taste and what they remind me of in terms of football and
Salud. Beer. What you think down there, or Austin Norman?
Probably my favorite Oktoberfest we've had.
Ooh, that's good.
I can't put exactly the palate on it, but I know you brought in a couple of them. This is my favorite of the Oktoberfest.
It's very malty.
It's got that nice little maltiness.
Yeah.
The one that we did was kind of more biscuity, I thought.
Yes.
And this one, and then there was another one that was almost a little bit sweet. This one to me is the right balance of all that.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a
not,
real beer.
Yeah, it's a beer.
Yeah, it's a beer.
You said malty. That's my favorite word now.
Malty.
Yeah. How's your day?
Schlitz
I'm a
malt.
little
You remember how we used to go in?
Yeah, you call it. That could be somebody's new nickname.
Malty.
Okay, let me get in
You're
here.
looking a little down. What's up? Just a little malty today. Brats. Yeah. I
For
mean,
sure. With sauerkraut and all that.
Brats
the whole
and kraut,
shebang.
Brats and kraut.
DP, are you traditionalist when it comes to brats, or you like the stuffed one with like the jalapenos and the cheese and stuff in them?
Traditional.
Yeah,
like I'm okay with letting the thing be a thing.
I'm okay with it being spicy though.
Oh, I can spice it on my own.
Yeah.
I don't need it inside the brat.
Okay, I'm with you.
Like, don't mess. Like, I don't know you like that.
I want to know you like that.
Like,
I don't need to.
Yeah, I don't know you like that.
It looks like it's a little low key red. It's got a little blend on it.
You're exactly right.
Look at Stricky.
Look at Stricky
Look
go.
at Stricky. Stricky know what he's talking about.
A little blend on it.
You
Yeah.
know what Eddie Murphy said in 48 hours?
Bubbles.
I remember that. Hey, if you have not seen a lot of people haven't seen those old school Beverly Hills Cop movies, classics.
So good.
Anyway,
That was 48 hours though, right? He was like,
well, 48 hours was that.
No,
but
this was Trading Places.
Trading
Trading
Places.
Places.
Trading Places.
Yeah.
But
I
the
believe
old
I can
school-
hang with you fellas for a little while.
Yeah.
Brandy, Monte.
When he was riding on his knees.
Like the Jacksons.
Who has been putting out the cools on my floor?
Because I am a karate man. And a karate man bleeds on the inside.
On the inside.
You guys.
Yes. Yes.
I love those old Beverly Hills Cop. You know, when he was Mr. Maitland. You know, he came in there and he was eating.
Right?
Yeah, man, that was hilarious.
I'm looking for Victor Maitland.
Victor, I'm back.
Will you tell Jerome from the clinic got tested?
Tell the man
And he's got herpes simplex skin.
Tell the man to go see a doctor before things start falling off on the man.
Nothing like Thirsty Thursday, I'm telling you.
Yeah. There's a new sheriff in town. His name's Reggie Hammond.
Yeah. Y'all be cool.
Y'all be cool. That was the best.
And you ain't gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
You mean you're not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe?
All right, we're done. We're done.
All
Tell
right,
us about it, man. This is good.
All right. This
Hey,
You didn't know you were getting comedy
dish the
today.
rock over here?
Oh yeah,
Stricky, you dishing the rock or you shooting?
You dishing dimes over here?
I'm not passing today.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
get
I'm
it.
saying?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm
Strick, they're
Kyrie
back.
Thomas.
Strick, they're back.
I'm Kyrie
is no-
I'm Kyrie Irving. I'm Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And
Jamal
I am
Crawford.
not what's my guy from Boston?
Isaiah Thomas?
No, the Boston from when they won the championship.
Not Rondo?
Rondo. I'm not Rondo. I am not.
Yeah, his
passing.
assist to pass ratio is down.
But I got it. So he changed his mind. Thank you.
All right. When they were complaining to Shaq that Kobe wasn't passing the ball, and he's like, "Hey, Kobe, there's no I in team." He says, "Yeah, but there's an ME in that mother." So what we have going on is this is a third generation Italian family called Pirano is their last name, and they are in Lodi, which is kind of near Sacramento, and this is their blend, and it's called Illusion. And I thought the Huskers might have to come up with a little trickeration, a little illusion, in order to get the W here this weekend. So I thought it's a little bit of a stretch, but it's also a darn good wine. And this is probably our best-selling red blend in the store.
Yes.
They're on the shelf for $15. So
Come
it's
on.
affordable to
Strix picks
everybody.
today. I'm sending it in.
Send it in, Strix picks. So yeah, this is Old
Send
Vine.
it in, Stricky.
Old Vine Zinfandel Merlot,
Oh my
Petite
gosh.
Syrah, and a little bit of Cab on
Listen,
the back end.
It sits on your palate. It like rests on your palate, and then it just like voila.
Yes, indeed.
How do you mix those kinds of the blend that kind to make it taste that good? There's no way that I've even had a Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc by itself, or Merlot definitely by itself. Zinfandel can't even get to this range, but to have them blend that up, that's crazy. Is that why you think the name Illusion comes out?
Well, perhaps, yeah. Blending of different grape varietals, it goes back centuries. And so, even in California, when you have a straight Cabernet, it only has to be 75% of the principal grape varietal to not have to list the others. But what's interesting about this, so like Old Vine Zinfandel, what happens is,
oh my gosh,
the older the vine gets, the fewer the clusters of grapes it will grow, and those berries on those clusters are small, but they get a really thick skin, and so they can leave them on the vine longer than they typically would be able to. So they're really concentrated, high in fructose sugar content. The Merlot is more bright. It's going to be more medium bodied. It's going to be dry. The Petite Syrah is kind of almost a hybrid of Zinfandel and Merlot in the fact that it can be a grape varietal that is a really old vine varietal. It's actually traced back to an Italian grape type called Durif, and but they grow it in California. It's one of the few grape varietals that continues to produce wine quality fruit when the vines are well over 100 years old. And then the Cab, you get that black cherry and vanilla components. And so this is really where the artistry of the winemaker comes into play, where they're playing around with these different percentages of these different blends to get the desired result that we're tasting in the glass. And I think they've done a darn fine job, especially for $15.
Where this one lands with me, I had an Italian. I was the boyfriend of an Italian family from New Jersey.
Pause.
Ooh, Jersey Italian.
Just
forget about
guy
it.
That's
friend.
legit.
Yeah, the guy friend.
Not really. And family dinner, pasta with real tomato sauce, tomato cooked into it.
They call it gravy there.
Fully seasoned, right? Gravy, meatballs, made by hand.
In Italy?
New Jersey.
Oh, in Jersey, but authentic.
The wine that made the table came in a big, and I wouldn't call it wasn't a bottle, but it was this big, huge glass thing that had a wooden base to it.
Like a big carafe type thing?
It was ginormous.
Like a decanter, a giant decanter.
Yeah. And it was family made. And as it poured, that separation told me that, one, it meant something to them, and it was aged. It wasn't fresh it was not out of a bottle that somebody. This is the Italian dinner with bread that is
authentic garlic,
right? Real garlic bread that, quite frankly, at the end of the day, they would dip the bread into this wine.
Well, and what's interesting
so
that you say that, because Zinfandel is actually also an Italian varietal, except in Italy they call it Primitivo. Merlot is mostly French, Cabernet is mostly French, but they grow those varietals all over the world. And then, of course, this is also an Italian family, so they're going to be made in more of that Italian style. And
this is really like it's the same optic.
His legs are amazing.
Yeah, same
His
optic.
legs are amazing.
Same base.
It's got a little bit of that brickish hue to it. It's not just straight purple.
Yeah.
You can tell it's made with some care, and there's certainly an elegance to it. And I think a wine like this just also would go well with almost anything.
This is a drinker's wine.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a drink. Like if you're a wine drinker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's real cool. It's real cool. This is the kind where it's in the midnight hour.
Oh yeah, there's some quiet storm to it.
Some quiet storm.
Yeah, there's some quiet.
Where you're having the honey.
Kevin, I would say that today is one of those days that if you ask me, I give it a 10.
Yeah,
all right,
a 10. A 10.
I can
10. Strix Picks. Go get it.
So
$15. How much?
$15.
I need 2 of those.
Yeah.
Kevin, what else was going on down at the store?
Well, let's see. So what we just had was Bell's Oktoberfest out of Comstock, Michigan, and Illusion by Pirano Estate out of Lodi, California. And then again, like I said, I mean, it's that season where we're getting new stuff all the time. The seasons are changing, and so we're starting to see some cool whiskey drops. We're seeing some really cool fall seasonals. Super excited for Husker football. It's just that time, even though it's going to be hot this weekend. It's just this time of year is my favorite time of the year, and it's also good wine drinking season because it cools down at night. You sit on the deck, you get your fire pit going, drinking some wine, listening to some tunes, hanging out with your wife or your friends, and looking forward to that. Plus, I have my 30th college reunion this weekend, so hanging out with my old fraternity brothers, and judging by the group text, not a single one has grown up a lick. But it ought to be interesting. So we got 8:30 tea time tomorrow morning, so I can go hang out with the nincompoops, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully, I don't make too many bad decisions.
Yeah, I'm actually going to have to pop back to DC in October for our 40. This is what they're combining is, I know I'm aging myself, 44 and 45. They're combining.
Well, that's beautiful.
44th
I
and
always
45th
miss mine.
anniversary.
Is that your college or your high school?
High school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'd be about 35 for high school, and this is our 30th for college.
Yeah,
So these are the college boys that we went in.
Where y'all playing golf?
Went in as boys and came out as older boys.
Older boys.
Playing out at Firethorn.
Firethorn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a great day to do it, too.
It's going to be hot and windy, and Firethorn and wind are not a great combination, but hey, we'll have a good time no matter what.
Have at it. Kevin, thank you, kind sir.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you for having me once again.
All right, we'll throw the break. When we come back, old school will get you through until there's some high school football and WTF.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year. The student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the Campus Cash app for free and get great deals too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Join us this Friday from 6 to 10 a.m. at Double Eagle Golf in the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street for a Ryder Cup watch party and preview of Nebraska, Michigan. Book your bay to hit shots while enjoying the show and enjoy USA-themed drink specials. Book today at doubleeagle.golf. We'll see you on Friday.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, it'll be sunny and warmer with a light breeze. We'll see an afternoon high of around 87. Tonight we'll see clear skies with a light breeze as well with a low of around 68. And tomorrow will be sunny and windy and even hotter. Afternoon high should be around 93. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puckett for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's get after it on a Thursday in Lincoln, Nebraska. We can look out the picture window of 11th and O Street and see the breeze. You can actually see the breeze. Like you can see the trees blowing back and forth, the leaves blowing. You see the Heinrich Harburg tree that somebody defaced. That poor tree. That tree was minding its own business.
And somebody decided to mind their own business instead of the tree's business.
Yeah, that's okay. Understand it. 402-464-5685. Starter Hammond text line if you want to be a part of what we're doing. Live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo, channel 951. We have to do a better job of promoting Allo Fiber and what they do for us. So I'm going to ask Austin to remind me to plug Allo Fiber and plugging old school and ticket shows going forward. They have to do a better job.
We will certainly make reference because the two things that they want to hammer on that I know from using Allo is exceptional service. When we moved into our house, they were out there like the day after we called. They were in, they were out, nothing unnecessary, and on time. Local heart here in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Right. And that's your big thing, right? You're in this community now. You want to be a part of it. That's why we're downtown in the heart of everything going on. That's Allo. They're going to do the same thing.
And I know that Jay's calling in, so he'll be on the Allo VIP line, so we'll give the proper credit. Is that Austin, if you would please let him know about the Mercado.
Absolutely. Certified Piedmontese, every type of meat, every type of cut. Find them 2 locations here in Lincoln, 84th and Havelock, as well as 30th and Yankee Hill. It's Good Sense Friday here tomorrow, but if you are not a member of the ticket, I highly recommend you go down to the Mercado, 30th and Yankee Hill. Got their lunch specials tomorrow. Haven't checked Instagram to see what it is, but I don't have to know that it'll be good.
Yeah, and there's lots going on tomorrow morning. Early break and the drive will be out of the building. They will be down at Double Eagle. So you guys can stop in there and get caught up into what's going on and entertain them. Then tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6, we'll be at the Cornhusker Bank. Larry, the cable guy, will be there making one of his annual appearances on the ticket. Good to see him as well. And there'll be some additional talent in the building. There'll be some additional ticket talent and Husker talent in the building. If you're not doing anything from 4 to 6 tomorrow, come down. I'm pretty sure there are raffles and prizes and giveaways.
Chris raffles or just regular raffles?
Well, Chris raffles are big raffles. Like those are huge. So there's a thing that we can do. So we'll take care of that. A couple of things in play. That to thank Irving Fryer, Mike Rozier, Ricky C. Simmons, DeMornay Pearsonell, Eric Strickland for stopping into the Big Red Brunch. That was the 3rd of the year. The next one we're working on is the 90 is the 70 champions. 70, 71, 72 folks from those folks, right? Those names that you know. And to give them a chance to come back in. If you happen to know somebody from the 70 team that is in the area or would want to be a part of it, reach out. Let me know. Let them know. Let me know. And we'll get all that worked out. Looking forward to it. And then we'll celebrate the 2 additional national championship teams in the last 2 sessions before we bring this whole thing to Lincoln. And we'll do a volleyball Big Red Brunch. I'm going to try to do a basketball Big Red Brunch, maybe a softball Big Red Brunch. To do that. And again, to Ava Thomas and Sherry Dickmeyer, thank you for what you do, for making this thing possible and trusting us with their brand and then allowing us to build not only their brand, but build ours. And then of course, the offensive explosion it's always interesting because you tend to think that teams that won the national championship are better than teams who did not win the national championship. But I'll ask the text line, and I'll ask you, Austin. Better teams. The Johnny Rogers, Jerry Taggy Huskers, or the Turner Gill, Mike Rozier, Irving Fryer Huskers?
You're asking someone who wasn't alive for either.
Okay.
So
I'm going to ask the text line.
Yeah,
too.
I don't want to step on any toes, right?
Right.
I think if the ultimate goal is winning a national championship, you absolutely have to give the nod to the teams that, accomplished the goal, accomplished the mission. Games 1 through 12. Got it all done. In terms of era, I don't mean it's similar, decade and change apart, but college football had changed from the Taggy and Rogers era to the Gill, Rozier, Fryer, Ricky Simmons era of college football. So in my head, I would say it's the 70-71 teams along with the 94-95 teams up there in the conversation for some of the best of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Jay's not here, so I'm going to say this. If he has a gripe with it, he knows where to find me.
Yep.
I would say the 83 team is comparable to, if not better than, that 97 team.
That won the chip.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, right? That and that's not to slight any of the teams. It's simply to highlight how great some of this is. I mean,
they were one play away from winning it.
You're one throw.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're literally one throw.
Decision, one kick.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like whatever it was. Through it all and relative talent, like parity and the era matters. But if you said that the best quarterbacks in Nebraska history, you're going to that block of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you said the best running backs or flankers or split ends, if you said any of that, best offensive lines, best defensive lines, they all have their own pocket of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
And different levels of it. And I'm just not sure that we've given proper credit to all parties involved, because you didn't get the task done, right? The task. But if you could watch one of those teams, I'm not sure you don't watch the triplets more than everybody else.
I'm a points guy at heart. Like I understand, I recognize, I respect the base necessity of good defense and of line play. But at my core, DP, I am a child of the Madden generation. I am a child of the analytics age, and I am a fan of points. Mm-hmm. That is aesthetic to me, and there's not a team in Nebraska history who did points better than the triplets.
Here's the other thing. I'm not a negative guy, but we can talk truth. And then you get into opinions, which is where negativity generally shows up. Talking facts is not negative. It's talking truth. Giving negative opinion is a whole different other beat. Like it's a whole other deal. I don't know why anyone would want to call a Nebraska team a choke artist. Like I don't get it. Like why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And no matter what they were, I mean, so the text says, that they were favored by 20, and it's one of the big choke jobs. But why would you why say that?
It can be true, but the framing of it as a choke, again, the other guy's on scholarship.
You played it's Miami. You're playing in a championship game. There are no chokes in the championship game, first of all.
In their home stadium.
Yeah,
never forget where that game was being played.
There are no chokes in the championship game.
Here's the other thing. Without that Miami loss, without the Florida State losses that came after, I don't know if Nebraska gets those three.
No.
That Miami game exposed some things. The Florida State games exposed some things.
Yeah.
Nebraska evolved and adapted. Yes, it would have been nice for Tom Osborne to get on the board, a decade in instead of 2 decades in.
Right.
But having watched those games, it made Nebraska change.
I mean, I was old enough in 83. I was in college. And I don't think of it that way. Like I didn't think of it that way then. Like I didn't. I thought championship game, this is a slugfest. I always say that about Super Bowls. There are no upsets in Super Bowls. There's not. I hate to tell you. There's not. They're not even upsets in championship games or playoffs. If you've gotten to the playoffs at any level, we're talking about, college and pro. If Notre Dame beats an Alabama team, it's not an upset. It's not. They were undefeated in order to get there. They figured out that they had done this. So I always find it interesting what people say.
That same guy said it was number 5 Miami against number 1 Nebraska. Well, guess what? It's still top 5 game in their home stadium.
Yeah, just
point spread, throw to the wind, right?
Wolf.
Like, yes, you can say Nebraska could have, should have won that game, and it's a bummer.
Well, you wanted them to win it. Okay, that's fine. Disappointed that they didn't win it. Okay.
Have someone give you a hug, please.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll be all right. We'll throw the break. We'll come back, close out first hour, and then we'll get Jay Foreman on the phone with us on the Al VIP line here on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want you to save money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate needs and more. Enjoy Lincoln's favorite USDA Choice Boneless Chuck Roast for just $4.99 per pound. All natural thick-cut Iowa chops for $1.99 per pound, and snow crab clusters for $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. Hi, my name is Seth Morris with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we know no two cases are the same. Whether it's a DUI, a criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. Again, that's libertylawnebraska.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Final segment of hour number one. We'll bring in Jay Foreman here shortly. Try to understand, man. Like I'm a journalist at heart. I coach, but in the whole thing, journalism is that I like to speak to what I know versus what I think I know.
And that's your thing. Ask the right question.
Right. I don't have to know all the answers, but we get to the right question. And we'll say this. Somebody called it, great upset. Point spread is opinion. Can we be clear that there's no, you don't know. It's an opinion. It's there. It is a group, and sometimes it's a collective group of people. Sometimes it's a software analytics package that puts the stuff, but it's never based on fact because, I don't know, they haven't figured out how to measure heart and they haven't figured out how to put analytics on being a teenager.
That part. They are humans playing a game.
Right. Like the humanity part of it is there. So the facts are anybody that's made it their way to a championship game has had ultimately in this thing playing the best at the most important time of the season. So when you get to a championship game, like you say the same thing you could say the thing about humanity in mixed martial arts or boxing. And you say, well, Buster Douglas was one of the great underdogs to win a title. That's without knowing Buster Douglas's history and knowing what Buster Douglas had gone through to get there. To call most upsets is just a matter of opinion. There's fact, and then there's opinion. You can speak from fact, which is what we will try to do, and then opinion. And then if I ask your opinion on something, do you think that this was the biggest point spread or the biggest upset? Oh, okay. Fact? No. Opinion? Yes. And I'm okay with deferring between the two.
It's a fact that Vegas gave that point spread, but that doesn't change the fact that the point spread itself is an opinion.
Yes.
There, you can have that differentiation.
Just be clear. What is the point spread for Michigan versus Nebraska currently?
Last I saw was 17.5.
So at 17 and a half, Austin, how do you feel about the difference? What do you think the point difference will be between Michigan and Nebraska Saturday? And it's just this Saturday.
So to me, I look at point spread where people come up with it in ranges, right? Anything from, 1 to 8 is a 1-possession game. Anything from 9 to 16 is a 2-possession game.
Mm-hmm.
And anything 17, to 24 would be a 3-possession game, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
If you're telling me it's a 3-score game between Nebraska and Michigan, anywhere in that range, I can see a path to that. My gut tells me that this game plays out a lot like last year's.
Okay. Which was
a 34-3 Michigan win. Nebraska never really threatened, although the difference in that game was Chubba Purdy hadn't looked good in his previous experience. And before he got his knee or ankle twisted on the turf, even though Nebraska hadn't put points on the board yet, Chubba looked more in command, in control than he had in previous games, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to have seen a full game with that. The difference between last year and this year is more quarterback run, which, like you said, Michigan has failed to account for, hasn't had to account for as much this year. And even if the results haven't been the prettiest for Nebraska and how they've gotten to 35 and to 28 points with Heinrich Haarberg there, to his credit, he looks confident. He hasn't looked overwhelmed. Again, take caliber of opponent into that. Sure, you have to factor that in. I think Nebraska gets to double digits this year, but I do think this is a game I just trust Michigan to have some form of control on pretty early.
The point of reference for me is Minnesota. And do you think Minnesota's defense is better than Michigan's? And that's your opinion, but
I do not.
Okay.
Give me the Wolverines.
Right. And then if you thought Michigan or Minnesota had a better offense,
still think Michigan.
And then at what differential is there in your mind?
Michigan's offense has underwhelmed from where I thought it would be.
Correct.
And their defense has been good, nation leader or up there in points per game as Nebraska's offense has been. It's still, I think, the best offense Michigan has faced to this point this year. I still like Nebraska's.
Boy, is that a statement.
Of all the statements I've ever made, that's one of them.
Statement. Yeah, that's a statement.
So I don't want to say that I think Nebraska is this huge test for Michigan, or they're going to be overwhelmed and bring something Michigan hasn't seen and they're not ready for. Michigan's good. They've got athletes.
Yeah, top 4.
But Nebraska has a chance to do something Michigan hasn't seen yet this year.
It's going to be a thing of beauty. We'll throw it a break. Bring you hour number 2. We'll bring in the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman, and then we'll set up WTF with Cluster and Strick, and then DeMornay with Don't Punt, and then some high school football here from Lincoln Public Schools. All of that coming up here on 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Drink locally and support local businesses during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 2nd through the 8th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L, or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our big fall sales underway, and the new truck incentives are off the charts. Over $5,000 in discounts on select new Sierras and Silverados and 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. $5,000 off, 0.9% interest rates on select new trucks here at Koppel. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street and check out that great small-town vibe with big city deals. We look forward to seeing you, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? Old School, Jay Foreman, DP, 5 o'clock hour on the stream with the Glean. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill. Every type of meat and every type of cut. DP and Austin, are you on here?
Yes, we are.
What up, Jay?
Hey, listen here, man. Listen, we forget all the pleasantries and the salutations, man. I got 15 text messages that you guys have bumped your head in disrespecting 1997. So let's just get this straight. So listen, okay, 83 had good individuals, right? They didn't win. So they're not even in the conversation. 97 is better than 94 from a talent base and also team-wise. So 95 is in a class of its own. It's in a whole different stratosphere. One of the best of all time. 97 is the second best championship team of all time. Then 94, 83 is below 70 and 71. Quote unquote.
I'm not mad at any of it. Here's my thing was, if you ask the question, I said, where does it rank? And I said if. I didn't say, hey, this one's better than the other one. I said if. Like, where would you put it? Position for position. If you said to me, okay, let's measure up.
Right.
If you compare them, there's nothing wrong with comparing. As I was just telling the texter, they're facts, they're numbers, right? An accomplishment. You can't argue accomplishment in production. You can't compare it. But we also have to say, well, that team had the best, maybe not only the best player in the country, but maybe the best third and sixth best player in the country, which is rare space to be in.
What are you talking about? 83?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had three dudes, but their defense couldn't stop a nosebleed though.
Well, they only gave up 14 points a game.
Yeah. But they didn't win it though. They had Irvin Fryer, Turner, and Mike Rozier. We had Amon, Frost, and we didn't really need to run, but that defense we had number 6 pick and number 14 pick up front. Jason Wilson, myself, everybody played in the league. Mike Rucker, Chad Kelsey, Psycho Sid, and we had Kyle Vandenbosch sitting on the bench just getting us Gatorade. They weren't going nowhere.
I have no issue or beef with it. Being in that room, you start to ask questions, right? That from what was done from a production standpoint, where did they land?
Right.
Where you put them, and if you put them right behind the national championship teams, that's not a terrible place to be.
No, they're good. They're one of the teams that just. It's like they're like a Miami team that lost to Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. Great team, just couldn't get over the hump. And, it's just part of, the difference of the team back then. The Nebraska, it wasn't cool to play defense back then. That's where things changed. They started to recruit more athletes on defense. But, Mike Rozier and Irvin Fryer are legendary players in their own. But, when you think about it, 30 for 30, you had Mike Rozier and we had Amon Green.
They had picks 1 and 2, and we remember. I mean, again, the North Star for offensive linemen at Nebraska, right? In the conversation, you have to have Steinkuhler and Fryer in the discussions as best at position ever.
Right.
Turner's in the conversation. Rozier certainly on the Mount Rushmore. And again, the receivers were forced to play a different kind of game.
Right. So that's a wash.
Dave Remington.
Yeah. I mean, there's some dudes on this team. They were one decision, one play from being in the other discussion. And I get it. I just wanted to at least paint the picture that
Nebraska. Yeah, they were talented, but we had Aaron Taylor. You know what I'm saying? We just had a lot of hardware over there, man. They were the ones that like set the table, but team wise, it wouldn't have been that close if we played them. They had some legendary players, and they were kind of like the first ones to put them on the map. And it sucks for them that they weren't able to kind of complete the deal, because I imagine if they play that Miami team 10 times, I think they probably come out more times than not, and that's why championship teams and championship games are so hard to win, because it's win at all costs, or you win or you go home. And look, you had Remington. They shouldn't have. I mean, talent-wise, offensively, you would think that they would be able to overwhelm them. But when you play against bowl games are that much harder, and that's why championship games are that much harder, because you're getting their best shot. And I mean, it's hard to think how could they lose with all those guys, right? With Remington, I think they had Steinkuhler and them three. but there's only one football, and that's the thing that's the hardest thing about football, where you gotta, you could have individual players and then get into a championship game, play against a good team. You got to think, we looked the Sheriff right down the barrel. Everything was set up for him to win a championship, and then he had to tap out early. We played against 3 first-round picks for receivers, and then numerous guys on their defense. The path 97 had to forge is legendary in their own right. I think, as much as 83 kind of gets looked over as a special team, right? Rightfully so, they should. I think 97 as a championship team gets looked over because everybody has a soft spot for 94, right? You got hosed in 93, 94. You finally get over the hump. 95 is a legendary team, arguably the best team of all time. And then when you win so much, and then, after the letdown in 97, you kind of look at 90 or 96 letdown. You look at 97 as like, oh, well, you just won another championship. You're almost kind of guilty by your own success. But I can tell you this right now, Nebraska fans would probably give their right arm and maybe their left foot to have any of those teams, any of the second teams. You wouldn't even want they would do that for the second teams and not the starters right now, just because of, those guys knew how to compete.
It was kind of a celebration day, 40 years since the offensive explosion, and I think for the people in the room, a lot of it was finding out the stories that go on beyond the locker room, the stuff off the field, and how people battle to hear what Coach Osborne did for various players in the room, for all the friction that those guys went through away from the game, right? That in a different era, like you imagine the 83 team now with NIL and internet, that it's a different process. And for them to get through it and get to the game is another statement that, Nebraska, there are things about Nebraska football that are so unique and so special that it still produces. And as you said, Jay, yesterday, it produced a brotherhood of guys who 40 years later still consider each other brothers.
Yeah, man, it's that's what it's about. And, that's probably where Nebraska should point to try to get, and, Nebraska, most likely won't get back to that 90s run. It's a legendary run with legendary players. 83, I think was, I looked at, when I was really looking at it, 83 and maybe 82 was like a little snapshot of what you got 10 years after 93 to 97. But that's a legendary run right there. And Nebraska, most likely won't get back to that 6-7 year run, right? But you can get into where you're consistent and get into a 2 or 3 year run. And you got to think, like, when I'm thinking back on 97, Aaron Taylor got his name in the stadium. The dude that was warming the bench, Dom Raiola, was sitting on the bench, chilling, getting in scrub time. He got his name up there. The depth of players from that run and the depth of players when they were playing, that's how you create that brotherhood, because you don't get there in year one, right? The players that come out of there aren't the players that you see that first get on campus. You got to go through some stuff, and you got to be willing to fight through it. And that's no different than players at all these other schools that are more successful than us right now. The guys that you're reading about, in I guess right now on the internet or whatever social media platform, very rarely Marvin Harrison Jr. and all those guys put that, he's already one of the top receivers in the world right now, right? So take him and put him aside, but everybody else, you gotta kind of struggle and find your way to success, and that's how you build a program. That's how you develop players. You don't develop players by just showing up and tagging them as being great, right? And yesterday we were able to talk to Mike Rozier and Irvin Fryer about how they were thinking about quitting, Ricky Simmons as well, but they stuck it out together. That's where the brotherhood comes from, right? And that's why they're still close. That's why me and Jason Peter are tight. And every time we see everybody else, it's no different. That's the stuff that you have to go through. And a big thing is that where you talk about development, right? And where that's the big thing where Nebraska needs to be a development program. But really, to be honest with you, development is like 98% on the player. 98% on the player. And here's why: is because just to be average, and I always say that just to get your scholarship check to cash, right? and then continue to kind of be on the roster where they, you know, that's you're showing up and working hard at practice and you're lifting weights. But to be, you know, go from average to good to great, and great to phenomenal and legendary, you got to put in the extra time, you know, in the weight room. You got to you got to learn how to take care of your body. Then you got to change how you take care of your body. Then you got to, you know, add more to your game from a mental standpoint. I mean, that's how you become good, because then the people that watch you, those are the guys that replicate what they saw. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you're able to reload instead of rebuild, and so forth and so on. But, you know, the scoring explosion, I think, you know, they were great, you know, great team in their time. And I think they kind of set the table and put really Nebraska back on the map on a national level. You know, because 70s, you know, the games, you know, in the 70s, it wasn't the big TV stuff. But I think when you could score at the rate that they were scoring, kind of, you know, brought some eyes to Lincoln. And then obviously the 90s teams took it to a whole new stratosphere. And it was all, you know, it was the right timing, right opportunity, but you got to have a, you know, really good, you know, sense of leadership and players to do so, you know, and we had players that were willing to take a lesser role, right, and do some things for the better good. You know, you got to think, this is what people, you know, and this is why I say 97 always kind of gets glossed over, and it's sad, and it's also letting you know how successful we were as 97, is that Grant and Jason were first round picks after their junior year. They had no reason to come back. Most guys would have been, you know, pissed off and upset that we didn't win, you know, didn't get a chance to go to play Florida State 3 in a row. They come back, play against Jim Druckenmiller in the Orange Bowl, kind of like a, you know, it was hard to get motivated for that game, and then come out and put in more work and go through a spring ball and not fair dodge, right? There was no, like they've done here before, there was no spring game where they're trying to save guys. There was no, that wasn't happening. It was ones against ones, good on good, and then to, you know, exceed expectations, especially defensively, because 97 was really a defensive team, and a change of like what we were trying to do from 97 or 96, where we got back to the basics, right? And you have you know, Grant went 6, and I think Jason went 14, and then, you know, you got to think you had young pups like Ralph and Mike Brown, just, you know, wet behind the ears, and you have Warfield and all those guys. So we were in a transition mode on the back end, you know, defensively, and we were able to, you know, overcome a lot of obstacles as far as the ranked teams and where we were playing and going on the road and beating Washington and stuff like that. So, you know, all the teams are married together, because, you know, you can't get one without the other. But that 97 team is, it was no joke, because it was a well bonded team, you know, and you had to overcome some individual players to kind of play around them, but then we end up winning, and so then it makes it all worth it.
It's through all of it, and again, I guess the Big Red Brunches give us time to get back and get back together again. Like the people that are in the room, generally these are fans who have been in that building for 20, 30, 40 years. They have some recollection of good times, but they also still carry the fire for when it gets great again. And then it allows the stories to be retold. The internet today will tell more stories of Nebraska football that's been told in a while. And it's good to have that sort of thing happen.
Right. I mean, that's needed, you know. I've been a long proponent of former players having a influence on a current program, and don't run from success. Don't run from your great players, right? I'm not saying Nebraska does, but I definitely think they could involve them more, because we said it yesterday. And if you look at it, we'll just go some individual players, right? So just say, or like Irvin Fryer, right? The way that he had to play receiver, especially now, he knows a thing or two about blocking, because that's what he had to do at an extraordinary amount in college. He played 17 years in the pros, where you were not getting 5 yards off the line without getting mugged. So he had to learn how to beat press covers, and he ran the whole route tree. And he played with Dan Marino, and they were legendary and before their time. So if you think he can't sit in that wide receiver room and teach you some things and some old school tricks, it's kind of like when you go to the YMCA, play against an old school cat, and he's killing you in the post and hitting you with the mid range game. and he hits you for 20, and you're like, how did he do it, right? Because he's not going between his legs, behind his back, and all that stuff, and he's eating you alive. That's what he is. And then you think of like a D-line, right? Like where, like a Jason Peter, who would be tailor-made for a 3-3-5 because he can anchor in there against the run, tackles for loss, and then he could bring that inside pressure on how to get in the quarterback, and especially having his nuances of the game going against offensive linemen in general that don't have any fundamentals and technique. You get what I'm saying? So even like where the defensive backs, Irvin Fryer or running backs, like these guys don't take the game serious enough to where they're really fundamentally sound. They're out there just trying to out athlete you to death and think they're going to beat you with size. So their knowledge and stuff is great. And today we'll do it as well. I know they'll have one with the 90s or 97 team, I think, in the future, I think.
Yep.
Big Red Brunch. And it's not just celebrating those guys, right? But it's also bringing light to what they were, but then bringing light back to the program. Because I didn't even know about, the expansion and stuff today, right? Those bills need to get paid, right? They're talking about, $450 million?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So some of those donations, or a lot of those donations, are in the back of their mind, right? Because the guys that are probably donating those money are probably our age or older, I'm assuming. Even the young people that are donating have fond memories of those teams. So a lot of that stuff is built on the success or whatever of those teams, 70s, 80s, 90s, and the last championship, team. And you're trying to be relevant. You're banking on the last time you were relevant, and that's how you're getting paid still to this day. You know what I mean?
Trev said it at the first Big Red Brunch, and he said the reason why Nebraska got into the Big Ten and is making the money it's making is what Coach Osborne did in the building. Like that one, it's not what was going on at the time. It's what had happened in the program in the building. Like it's 100 years. Right. Like you don't get to discount the stories of how it was built and why it was built and what happened there. You don't get to, because it's convenient, right? And it doesn't highlight you. No, you don't get to do that. You should highlight it and move along.
We're gonna highlight it. I'm working on a special guest to come in studio because he's been asking about the studio. I told him it's swagalicious down there, but we could work it out. We got to get. Is Jake around? Jake's been avoiding. Jake's better getting it. Listen, man, Jake better get on them sales because my boys that are coming, you got to be taken care of. When you talk about highlighting and talk about the different stories, right? The dude I can have on is one of the best storytellers on there. But when you really get past all that, right, which is great because that'll obviously people are going to tune in. But when you talk about leadership, though, right, of Grant Wister, Aaron Taylor, Jason Peter, like the leadership that they were doing, and it was all for one for all. So I always say that, like, Christian and Jason, they had a real big influence on me. I was a redshirt freshman, redshirted, and was going through spring ball. I don't know what, I'm walking past, and like Christian's like, hey man, you better get in the weight room because I heard you pretty good. We might need you this year. Now, mind you, I'm still 4th or 5th on the depth chart, right? So he's reaching all the way down to the depths of hell on that Sam linebacker depth chart to a kid that's probably just keeping his head down and nose clean, trying to figure out where he's at. That's how you get back to relevancy. That's how you do it. So what I mean by that in modern day time, so instead of trying to be new school, you go back to old school. You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why John Jansen, who just texted me, right? He's coming in town, why he's involved. John Jansen he played when I played, right? And I always joke with him, like, dude, nobody talks about you guys as 97 champs because you guys actually weren't champs, right? Greg Skrepernick is in their program and all that type of stuff, right? So they're reaching back. So when they had to make up the gap, and this is confirmed between them and Ohio State when they were losing 7 times in a row, what did Michigan do? Go back to old school, right? What did they do? Lessen the talent gap, but then increase the physicality gap. Now guess who's looking up at the top of the hill at them, right? So if you want to try to be Michigan, you got to do what Michigan does. And is what did, and that's not do it any different, right? And that's the thing that needs to be really clear as day. whether it's you want to be Michigan, whether, I know that I think Scott and those guys were, wanting to be like Ohio State and be portable and all that other stuff. Well, if you see what they're doing, you got to do exactly what they're doing to the magnitude and intensity that they're doing, because you can't be like somebody if you don't replicate what they're doing. So here's an example before we go to break. Kobe Bryant, everybody was like, man, he's not his own person. He saw the best of all time in Michael Jordan. Guess what he did? Walked like him, chewed his gum like him, did every single move he did, and played like him. He even tried to develop his mentality. Same way. And what Kobe's probably one of the arguably, people can argue whether, you don't start. I started and stopped it with Kareem, but in that type of position, it's Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, and any order you want.
Yep. Fair. All fair.
But still, though, 97 is better than 83, though. Hey, man, I'm just telling you, non-biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real, man.
I'm mad at you. I'm not mad at you, Austin. Austin, let this man do his victory walk. Well, let's go to break.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, but it's not just me. Folks all over town are having success with the FXB program. Guys like Gary, who just finished up his own 10-week challenge.
Yeah, Mark. After having a knee replacement in March, I was looking for a way to get back into shape. The workouts are fun, the atmosphere is a total blast, and I've lost 17 pounds since starting in July.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th, and ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the Ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Old school. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos. Middle of the 5 o'clock hour. Pushing on. About to head over to Seacrest, the home of Aaron Davis Field, to watch or to call Lincoln East against Millard South. Should be it's a top 10 match. Lincoln East is the only top 10 team ranked in the state. So the Metro and the country towns are taking over football. But we got football to be played here in Lincoln. The one thing that's really interesting here is, they asked Matt Rule again, and he said that pretty much Heinrich Harburg is healthy. Jeff Sims is back, but not all the way 100%, which, really, to be honest with you, nobody's 100% anytime in the football season. Even if you come in at, pretty healthy, you get banged up. But obviously that ankle problem is probably a little bit of an issue. I wanted to ask you, DP, do you envision a scenario where they both play, even if Heinrich Harburg starts and Jeff Sims comes in predetermined, not by play, right? Predetermined,
right.
Comes in and plays. And would you do something like that?
If he's not healthy enough to start, I don't want him on the field against Michigan. I don't know how healthy Chubba Purdy is, which, again, big part of the question. We assume that Harburg is at, in that 90 to 95 window. Don't know what the percentage is for Sims. If Sims is there's a number, if he's above 85% effectiveness, right? It's that thing. Jay, can he protect himself?
Well,
don't put him out there injured against the best defensive team you're going to face this year.
Right. I mean, I think a unique quality that they can't put a star rating on, or that gets talked about enough, is can you play hurt? Because the difference is, and I'll explain to everybody, the difference between being injured and hurt, and it's pretty elementary. If you injured, you ain't playing. If you injured, Ramir Johnson, Gabe Irvin, they're injured. There's no chance that they're going to be playing. If you're hurt, there depends on how hurt you are, right? If you're, like say you had a high ankle sprain, you're 2 weeks into it, you're still hurt enough that you can't play. But when you get like week 3 or 4, depending on the severity, you should be able to go out there and play within reason, which Coach Samuel used to always call it the 85% rule, right? When you step on the field, no matter how you feel, right? And obviously when you're not feeling your best, you got to be able to operate and grade out at 85% clip, because that's winning football, right?
Well, Joe Gibbs used to say that, are you hurting the club?
Yeah, that's also too, right? We don't need you to go out there and try to be a hero and then you're getting exposed.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing that if you're out there and you can't protect yourself and you can't help your teammate.
Right.
Like, I can't put you out there where it's going to put additional burden on somebody else that's on the field. And then with you being injured, are you better than the option that exists behind you?
Yeah. Well, we dealt with that with Adrian.
Yeah.
We felt like he was always better. But you know what? A good example of being able to play hurt, right? We saw it Monday night, Joe Burrow, right? His back's against the wall. You don't want to be 0-3. He weighed the options. He practiced that way, right? And they put together a game plan around the hurt Joe Burrow or rehabbing Joe Burrow to go out there and win that game. And so let's just play this scenario, right? Let's just say both quarterbacks are healthy enough to play, right? Nobody's going to be 100%. Let's just say Heinrich Harburg is at 93, Jeff Sims is just say 85%. Who do you start? And I'm asking you in the sense of who gives you the best chance to upset Michigan? Because I think there's a difference. Who do you start?
Well, I mean, the if you don't lose your job from injury, that rule still exists. Mm-hmm. Then the same thing is that it was Sims's job. He didn't lose the job. The job was removed because he was injured. The other side of it is Matt Rule has been specific that it's whoever gives the best opportunity for Nebraska to win. Mm-hmm. And whoever he puts out there, that's the answer. Like, that's literally like from based on what he's seen. Remember that Heinrich Harburg is not the quarterback that he was 2 weeks ago, but neither is Jeff Sims. What are you getting from it? Does Jeff get smarter standing on the sideline with a limp? Right, watching things from a different perspective, from a different vantage, right? Like, right? Is he better? Right. Well, I mean, come on. Like, through all of it, we know.
I'm just laughing. Yeah.
What you want to do versus what you're able to do.
Right.
And I think Harburg is the starter in week 5 because he would be the best option, but we haven't seen them practice. So I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. And to be fair, text line, you don't know who's the better quarterback in practice. I can tell you if I polled 10 players, 5 offensive players and 5 defensive players, it would be a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, I think for me, DP, if everything's equal, right? And we're trying to pull an upset of the century, because you got to think Nebraska ain't beat nobody like that's ranked in like since what, like 2001. That was like the Eric Crouch Oklahoma game when it was like the game was 10-7 and he had the Heisman winning play on the throwback, right? Rocky Kalmus is still having nightmares about it because Eric Crouch not only beat you, he won the Heisman off of you because you didn't know how to cover a quarterback throwback. But with that being said, I would probably say if you're trying to upset and everything's equal, they're healthy, Jeff Sims probably gives you the best chance to upset Michigan.
Yeah.
Heinrich Harburg gives you the best chance to move forward in a consistent way program-wise, right? Because I think, if Heinrich Harburg can find a way to become a little bit more accurate on passes past 10 yards, then your offense starts to become more formidable, and then the separation, the little separation that the receivers have been getting, then you're able to play pitch and catch, right? And you don't have to scheme up some stuff. But I think injury is a big factor in it. And then, as you know, when you're not able to take all the reps like you used to be taking, your timing's off. And so I think right now it's Heinrich Harburg's, show to run. But in my opinion, I think Jeff Sims gives you the best chance at the upset if he's healthy. And health is not just physical. And what you talked about was really, really good in the sense of, did you rehab and get healthy mentally? And that is something that I don't think is talked about or put enough importance on, right? So it's like, you're watching, and instead of saying, man, I mean, yes, you want to say you wish you're out there, but instead of being salty, maybe you're not out there, let's look and see what he does well. Because there's maybe some deficiencies in your game that he has, a positive in his game that you could take from him. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
having the headsets on,
right,
which is not a thing Nebraska quarterbacks were doing in the early weeks, is getting direct communication from all the coaches rather than just some coaches.
Right.
And if you took that information and you processed it in game time, like knowing the play call, okay, here's what I would do with it. Oh, did it get the desired result? Could he have made a different decision?
What coverage was it? Yeah.
Right.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that one thing that's huge, and this is what I was watching because I was watching the replay of Alabama, Mississippi, and with their issues at quarterback. One of the things that was so huge, the two guys that were obviously not starting, which they had started, before and replaced Milroe, is that every call that went in, you saw the communication between the two guys after they signaled in the calls or whatever. They communicated, and then when he came off the field, all three of them, along with either their quarterback coach or whoever the coach is down there, all met every single series.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing is they're double checking and fact checking what they're seeing, because one of the things that's unique is what you see out there in a split second isn't what we're able to see if we were on the sidelines looking at the replay, because they're not able to look at the replay because you're up against the play clock and you got to change it. And that's going to be huge. And, really the one thing also, DP, to look forward to, and I know we'll be able to, we're going to have a great remote tomorrow out there at the Cornhusker Bank, 84th and O Street. Actually, it's 8310 O Street, but it's pretty much 84th and O Street. And we'll dive into more of it. But, this is where you're going to really see, and I'm sure this is what the coaches are really waiting to see. And this is also what, if I was a head coach, I'm also looking as well. Who's really competitive? Right? Who, you want to see what coaches are really competitive, right? Taking it personal. And then you want to see the players, regardless of what happens, who's really going out there to measure themselves up against one of the better teams in the nation. Now, has Michigan been playing like the number 2 team in the nation? Certainly not. Are they riding off of having a ton of players back from last year, and particularly a quarterback that got really hot last year, and 2 running backs, and the offensive line and the defense and stuff like that, and they came in highly ranked? Yes, but they have not been playing like the number 2 team in the nation. They haven't been consistent enough against a cupcake schedule. But they're better than anybody that you've played. We have 4 games underneath our belt. This is where you want to measure up to see where you're at and see how much, how much success you can have as a individual, but then also as a unit, right? So in my case, it'd be linebacker unit. Your case would be wide receiver unit. And then let's see where the chips may. You learn more from this game than you do playing against Northern Illinois, who was a bunch of chumps where you can kind of sleepwalk through it. And you knew in the first 5 plays, there's no way that Northern Illinois was going to win. So this is where you measure yourself and to see how far you're off or how close you are to becoming what you want to be. And so that's the exciting part. But you also have to weigh and also have the mindset, I'm measuring myself, but I'm doing everything to win. How you prepare for this game with the intensity of how you're practicing, it just has to be different. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's like the game, in baseball, game number 79 is way different than game 5 or game 6 in the 7-game series in the playoffs or in the World Series, right? So this is going to tell you a lot about your team and individual or your program as a whole. It's not going to be the end story, but it's going to give you a good glimpse into it because there's individual matchups that you either want to break even on or win, but then also there's collectively matchups that you want to see and then also test yourself internally. And that's huge.
Yeah, this is what one of those ones you call an identity game. Like this is where you really find out who you are, not who you say you are, not who you want to be, who you really are. And Nebraska has every right and opportunity to step up and change the program. They can change the program Saturday, or they can confirm what our greatest fears. We'll figure it out. That's why they play the game.
Right. Yeah, good segment there. We're gonna go to break and come back and put a bow on it, and then I'm gonna hit the highway, the flyway, and get over there to Seacrest and see if I'm still DP. When I go to Seacrest, I'm still looking for the statue of Aaron Davis. Aaron Davis says it's somewhere on the premises. I haven't seen it yet. So if any of the texters out there have seen it, we can make sure you get a picture with it, man. But Jay Foreman
is only.
You're right. Jay Foreman, DP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. Here are your Week 5 high school football results. In city matchups, number 4 Waverly had a big matchup against number 5 ranked York. Waverly would win in a dominant fashion 28-0, led by Aiden Smith with 3 touchdowns. Lincoln Pius 10th would fall short against Crete in a one-score game, losing 30-26. Crete would come back to win it after being down by 10 in the 4th. Lincoln Northwest would lose to Gretna East 35-7. Millard North beat Lincoln Southeast 49-28. Parkview Christian beat Sterling 26-12, and Lincoln Lutheran would also take a loss to Wilbur Clatonia 42-13. Switching to volleyball on Monday, September 25th, Lincoln East defeated Omaha Marion in 3 sets, and Lincoln Lutheran won over Syracuse in 3 sets as well. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jay Foreman here. Join me and DP for Old School live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O Street this Friday for their customer appreciation tailgate party from 4 to 6 p.m. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. That's this Friday from 4 to 6 at Cornhusker Bank, 83rd and O Street.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
September is one of the best months of the year with college football and all the other fall sports underway. All the excitement of the games brings major stress, and stress causes tight muscles and pain. It's time to call the Body Shop, your place in Lincoln for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Eliminate the pain from sports watching stress today with a massage at the Body Shop at 48th and A and online at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
An entire week of celebrating Lincoln's Craft Brewers is just around the corner. October 2nd through the 8th is Lincoln Craft Beer Week. Head to lincoln.org/beer-week for a complete schedule of events at your favorite local establishments. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly. Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrill, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. Hey, man, I didn't know that that camera was on the whole time, man. Me and Reggie over here trying to conversate. Hey, DP, I wanted to ask I wanted to ask you real quick, man. What your I know you guys might have covered it, but I was on the Big Ten and we talked about it a little bit. I wanted to ask you what you thought about the reduction of seats in the stadium with the new modernization of the stadium.
Listen, when David Copperfield walks in the room, you know magic is about to happen. You know you're about to be tricked. You know that he's going to distract you and hit you with something, and then you go, oh, and he pulls it out your ear. Well, there it is. This is what it is. I don't understand $450 million. If you asked, I'm going to ask Austin a question in full. Austin, would you rather have new bathrooms or winning football teams?
The latter.
Okay. If I had to spend $50 to fix the bathroom or win a game, what would you have me do?
I would advise you to spend that money on winning the game, please and thank you.
Okay. If I said I can give you a bigger seat or I can win games.
How about the game?
Okay. Jay.
What's happening?
Football player, sir. Would you rather have a really, really cool locker room or more money in your bank account?
Oh, I might have more money, but I think I think
I'm just
I
logical.
understand. I understand the why though, because you reduce the stadium, you increase the fan experience. I do think they need a concourse because when you go to other stadiums, big stadiums, right, like real deal stadiums, they're a little bit, ahead of us. Now, granted, what makes it a lot easier to get that 450 million is 9 or 5 years, and you got 45 wins, 10 million a win. So I do understand it. I mean, and there's no good time for it. I'm just telling you. What's up?
What's at the top of fan experience? What they want? At the top.
They want to win. Yeah, they want to win.
Listen, your house is on fire, and you talking about fix the fire.
Yeah, I mean, I think it coincides because you got a new coach, so you can't judge where the football program's at now. You think like everything is pointing toward there's a lot of positives, right? Because you only can judge. I mean, overall, where the football program is, you understand where we're at right now. Today, you can't write the last chapter because you're just in the prefix of this.
What's
series.
the number one reason why people think they can't win football games at the University of Nebraska?
I don't know why they can't. I don't ever think. I never went into a game. I never went into a game. I never went in a game thinking I ain't gonna win. I would never coach like that.
Do you think Nebraska fans walk into the building Saturday thinking they're gonna win?
Oh, probably not.
I mean, for most of the games that are involved, especially with recent track record, that belief is not there. And so my question in this is, you can distract me with mirrors and glittery things, and you just built a new facility, and then you ask for more money, and then you're going to shut it down and kick people out who want to come, who currently come to the game, and to say, I'm going to inconvenience you because I'm really more concerned about your fan experience by kicking you out of the building that you currently enjoy being in. Look, business is business. Do your business. Like I'm not tripping. As I said earlier, before I build the new studio, I got to give Jay Foreman a raise.
Yeah, I think, but see they would tell you that they surveyed the fans and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that they are behind it. I do, and I agree. The football team is the most important thing. You're moving along with the assumption that it is going in the right direction.
Jay, I want to give you a raise, but the text line says, and I'm not even going to let you look at the text line. The text line said, Jay, build a new building rather than give Jay Foreman money. And
man, I'm reading it right now, man. Them dudes about to get blocked. Hey, they about to get blocked.
Not again.
Yeah. You on the do not answer list.
Yeah, do the business. Like, I know you're doing business. That's fine. Do business. But I for an additional $4.5 million per in the football program, you can bring some talent in here that can compete and win games in the Big Ten Conference. And to tell me that you can raise $450 million, but you can't raise $4.5 for your your biggest program doesn't add up. The math ain't mathing.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man. I thought they got money, man. I don't know. They ain't sending nothing over here.
Heck, I ain't getting none. I ain't getting not a dime.
They ain't even got your brother had ain't even on the after game show. So they tight though. They Daddy Warbucks need to go. I need to go get some over there, man.
Amen.
I need to go see Trev, man. What's up, man? I need a job.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Come see me.
Yeah, man. Listen. Yeah, man. We're gonna go in there lock and step, man. See what's up. But I think it'll all work itself out. I think what really could help is a good performance this weekend. Definitely an upset victory. And then you double down in is it Champaign, Illinois?
Champaign.
And then next thing you know, you ain't gotta worry about that 450 because everybody be giving their whole life savings to it. So good show. I'm about to be off to Aaron Davis Field, Seacrest. See little Nikki over there. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 8310 O Street, Husker Bank. Live remote. Jay Foreman DP. We're out.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through October 3rd are buy a New York strip and get a free finished flat iron steak. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
September is one of the best months of the year with college football and all the other fall sports underway. All the excitement of the games brings major stress, and stress causes tight muscles and pain. It's time to call the Body Shop, your place in Lincoln for all types of massages: deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Eliminate the pain from sports watching stress today with a massage at the Body Shop at 48th and A and online at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at